If you're thinking about buying the Lunar Ultra or you've already bought it, this video will show you exactly how it works and how easy it is to get started. This isn't a menu deep dive into every option, this is just to help you get started and up and running as quickly as possible. First, there are several bundles available for the Lunar Ultra. The standard bundle includes the Lunar Ultra, a protective cover, a wind guard, a 1/4 inch thread handle and a wrist strap. You can attach the hand loop here, which I suggest you do for extra safety. And if you've bought the Creator bundle, for example, then you'll have a battery extension handle like this. And whichever extension handle you have, I suggest that you attach it straight away because this makes the Lunar better to hold in your hand. You simply connect it at the bottom here and then make sure it's clipped in place. And to release, you can press this button. But also both of these extensions have a built-in tripod underneath, and this is designed for basic use, but it's really handy for setting your camera down on a smooth tabletop, for example. And there's also a 1/4 inch thread here as well, so you can then mount your Lunar to a bigger tripod, or onto a selfie stick or various other mounts. And if you have the Creator bundle, then the wide angle adapter can be stored inside the hard case here, and also the Mic Pro can clip onto the top here. And there's an additional space for a Pro Mist filter which you can buy separately. So first remove all the stickers if you haven't done so already. Ideally the first thing you should do is charge your camera. And you can charge it directly here or attach the extended battery if you have one. And this will then charge the battery and the camera. When you first power the camera on, you'll be prompted to select your language and then you'll need to connect to the app to update to the latest firmware. So open up the Insta360 app and press the camera icon here if the Lunar doesn't show up, or if you see this screen then just press connect. For the first connection you'll then have to confirm on the camera screen as well. And the first time going through this process you'll activate your camera and then you'll be prompted to update to the latest firmware. So now let's switch the camera on and I'm going to walk you through the camera's physical features. You can switch the camera on either by flicking the screen around like this, or you can press and hold this button here. Okay, so now looking around the camera, so at the bottom here you have the joystick, and this controls the movement of the camera and can help you frame up your shot. The joystick also has a button feature so you can press it in. Press once and it will start deep tracking, and you'll see a green square come up, usually in the middle of the screen. And this will lock the camera onto that object and it will follow it. Press it again to cancel this tracking feature. Quick press the joystick button twice and it will position the camera back to its central starting position facing forward. Press it 3 times and it will spin around and face towards you for a selfie shot. Press 3 times again and it will spin back 180 degrees and face the front. The button underneath the joystick is the shutter or the record button. This starts and stops a video recording, or in photo mode takes a photo. And like we just did, you can also press and hold this button to turn the camera on and off. The slide switch to the right is your zoom control. Quick slide this up and the camera will zoom in ×2. Quick slide it again and it will go to ×3, and again and it will go to ×6. This is as far as you can zoom in 8K mode, and this is a true optical zoom. You can change the zoom while recording, but in 8K this will only take you to ×2.9, and to zoom further you have to stop recording, zoom in further again and then start recording again. In 4K mode though, you can quick slide again and go up to 12 times zoom, and this is a digital zoom so it won't be as high quality. You can also reverse the zoom and come out wider by quick sliding downwards. A quick tip here with the Ultra though is to use the zoom to fine tune your framing, or to zoom in to get closer. Don't zoom in as part of the shot itself because the zoom isn't smooth enough for that. Any actual movement should come from moving the gimbal around and not just the zoom. And if you prefer, you can hold the screen here and adjust the zoom this way as well. Another really cool way to use the 6x zoom is to get macro close-ups. To do this, position the camera about 15 centimeters away from an object and then use the 6x zoom. And this is a really great fun one to try. At the bottom of the OLED screen there are 2 customizable buttons. And later in the video I'll show you what these 2 buttons do by default, and I'll also show you how to change them and what I've set mine to. And when you detach the joystick panel, you can use all of these functions we've just talked about. So the joystick, the zoom, the buttons, and also the tracking, but from a distance. The camera has an internal memory and a micro SD card slot on the side here. And I suggest buying a micro SD card and then using the internal memory as a backup in case you run out of storage. And I'll talk you through how to format your card later in the video. This is your main wide angle lens and this is your zoom lens on the right. There is a front mic here with a built-in windshield, as well as a mic either side here and here. You can remove the OLED screen by pushing in these red buttons here, and this then becomes a remote control for your Luna. And it also reveals another microphone. And this means that you can be at a distance from your camera and still get good sound without having to buy another microphone. Using the screen this way opens up options to mount your Luna in different places, whether it's on a selfie stick or a tripod mount, and you'll still be able to view and control the camera. On the main screen, to change your shooting mode, you can select this icon in the bottom left and then swipe across the middle of the screen. In this video, I'm not going to talk you through every single mode, but there are 4 that I'll draw your attention to that you will need to start with. Photo mode is this icon, and for standard video you can use this shooting mode, and for video at night you can use pure video mode. And for super slow motion shots, select the slow-mo icon here. To change resolution in video mode, select at the bottom here and you can shoot up to 8K. And if you want to save memory and processing time and shoot smaller files, then 4K is absolutely fine. If you're shooting for social media, then shoot in 30 frames per second or match your country's frame rate. So for me in the UK, this is 25, and in the US is mostly 30. You can shoot higher frame rates here for slow motion, but at first I suggest switching to the slow motion mode if you want to shoot any slow motion clip. There are some other options if you swipe from the right of the screen, but at the beginning there's no need to adjust anything here, and I suggest sticking to the basic mode. If you are super keen though to try manual mode, then you can select Pro mode and then automatic exposure, and then here you can manually adjust ISO and shutter. But for most of you watching, please just stick to basic mode. In basic mode, you can adjust how your shot looks as well, so you can give it an image filter. At first, stick to the standard default filter, but if you want to experiment later, there are 8 other options here, and 2 I particularly like are the Leica Natural and also the cinematic filter. Swipe from the left of the screen, and this is where you will find the videos and photos you've recorded. You can swipe up and play different clips, or you can select the grid icon here and look at all of the clips you have recorded. And to come out of this screen, just swipe where this line is here. This icon here allows you to start auto tracking, so the camera locks onto and follows the subject. Tap it and then drag a box around the subject you want to track. You can then tap the grid here and position your subject in different areas of the frame. And you can use the joystick to move around the grid, or you can tap the grid with your finger. And the camera will then keep the subject in that area. And this is good if you don't always want your subject to be framed dead central. Press the joystick or tap the screen to cancel the tracking mode. And a tip here with tracking is to not use the tracking beyond ×6 zoom, because the camera will have trouble keeping up with your subject. Swipe down from the top of the screen and then swipe from the left, and this is where you can format your internal memory and your memory card. So select which one you want to use and then select storage management and then format. Only do this if you have a backup of all the files you want to use and keep. Swipe here at the line to come out of this page. This is the settings icon here, and there are a few things to adjust. First, under General, go to Screen Rotation Operation. If you want to shoot a lot of portrait and landscape video, then select Keep Powered On. Now, when you rotate the screen, you can record in portrait mode and the camera will stay powered on. This is handy if you want to shoot videos for TikTok or YouTube Shorts in that vertical format. And now swipe down to video bitrate and set this to high. Now select the back arrow. In the bottom right of the shortcut screen there is a gimbal mode. At first you'll probably be fine in the default mode, which is roll lock, but as you start experimenting with your camera you'll probably want to try out different modes. So roll lock is ideal for vlogging and general daily use, and it keeps everything level. Roll and tilt lock, this keeps the frame level the same as roll lock, but also locks the tilt as well. So if you do panning and dolly type movements, this shot is great. FPV mode, this mode follows the movement of the handle, so the camera can move in all directions. This is a more creative mode, but you also have to be very mindful of the camera position because you can easily end up with a wonky horizon. On the shortcut screen, you can now swipe across to the next page. So to connect your Mic Pro, select wireless mic and then tap connect and make sure your Mic Pro is in pairing mode. And you usually do this by double pressing the Bluetooth button here. Go back to the shortcut screen and swipe from the right, and here you'll see customise button. This allows you to customise the buttons on your OLED screen, and this is where I'll tell you what I use for each button. The default for the single press left button spins the camera around, but because you can already do that with the joystick triple press that I showed you earlier, I've set mine to switch between photo and video. But you can also change it to do a barrel roll if you prefer. And this is where the camera will spin around in a spiral as you record a video. The right button single press is set by default to switch filter, so this will change the look of your photos and videos. And I've changed mine to EV adjustment instead. EV is exposure value, and this sets how dark or bright the auto is. So on a cloudy day, you can set this to between -0.3, -0.7 or -1, and this will add more detail to the cloud without taking away too much detail from your face. The double press of the right hand button is set by default to return the gimbal to the center position. I set mine to gimbal lock direction, so this will lock the head in place and then unlock with the double press as well. And this is useful for some shots where you don't want the head to move. Of course, you can leave these presets as they are, but at least now you have some more options. So by now you should know your way around the camera enough so you can start recording a video. But before you do, I just want to give you some quick shooting tips so you can get the most out of your Lunar Ultra. And then I'm going to finish with an editing tip. First, only use the joystick to fine-tune your framing. Don't try and follow your subject around or do a panning shot with the joystick. It just won't look very good. Think of the handle like a joystick, so point with your wrist, hand and the handle where you want to look, and then the camera head will follow smoothly. And just because this is a stabilized handle, it doesn't mean that you can move it crazily. The smoother you move the gimbal, the better your shots will be. And just because you can do a barrel roll with this camera, keep it to a minimum. Don't be tempted to use fancy effects in every video. And don't overshoot. Try and keep your shot short, ideally between 30 seconds and a minute long. This way you'll have less footage and you're more likely to do something with it in the Insta360 app. And the easiest way to get started with editing your clips is in the Insta360 app. Connect your camera like before and then select the edit icon here. You can select flash cut and then you'll be presented with dozens of templates. You can then select a template to use and then it will tell you how many clips you need. Tap on your clips to choose which ones you want to use, and then the software will edit them together with transitions and also add music. It really is the simplest way to start editing. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below, and for more Lunar Ultra tips, you want to watch this video next, and I'll see you over there.